And the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, When a man has a swelling on the skin of his flesh, or a scab, or bright spot, and it is on the skin of his flesh like the plague of leprosy, then he shall be brought to Aaron the priest, or to one of his sons the priests. And the priest shall look on the plague on the skin of the flesh. And if the hair in the plague has turned white, and the plague in sight is deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is a plague of leprosy. And the priest shall look on him, and shall pronounce him unclean. And if the bright spot is white in the skin of his flesh, and in sight is not deeper than the skin, and the hair of it has not turned white, then the priest shall shut up the one who has the plague 7 days. And the priest shall look on him the 7th day, and behold, if the plague in his sight is stayed, the plague has not spread in the skin, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days. And the priest shall look on him again in the 7th day, and behold, if the plague is somewhat dark, the plague has not spread in the skin, the priest shall pronounce him clean. It is a scab, and he shall wash his clothes and be clean. But if the scab spread greatly in the skin after he has been seen by the priest for his cleansing, he shall be seen by the priest again. And if the priest sees that, behold, the scab spreads in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a leprosy. When the plague of leprosy is in a man, then he shall be brought to the priest. And the priest shall look, and behold, if the rising is white in the skin, and it has turned the hair white, and there is live raw flesh in the rising, it is an old leprosy in the skin of his flesh, and the priest shall pronounce him unclean, and shall not shut him up, for he is unclean. And if a leprosy breaks out greatly on the skin, and the leprosy covers all the skin of the one who has the plague from his head even to his foot, to all that appears to the eyes of the priest, then the priest shall look, and behold, if the leprosy has covered all his flesh, he shall pronounce the plagued one clean. It has all turned white, he is clean. But when raw flesh appears in him, he shall be unclean. And the priest shall look on the raw flesh, and pronounce him to be unclean. The raw flesh is unclean, it is a leprosy. Or if the raw flesh turns again and is changed to white, he shall come to the priest, and the priest shall look on him, and behold, the plague has turned to white. Then the priest shall pronounce the plagued one clean. He is clean. And when the flesh has a boil in his skin, and it has healed, and in the place of the boil there is a white rising or a bright spot, a reddish white, it shall be shown to the priest. And if the priest sees it, and behold, it is in sight lower than the skin, and the hair of it has turned white, the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague of leprosy broken out of the boil. But if the priest looks on it, and behold, there are no white hairs in it, and it is not lower than the skin, but has become dark, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days. And if it spreads greatly in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague. But if the bright spot stays in its place, not spreading in the skin, it is a burning boil, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. Or if there is flesh in which the skin has a hot burning, and the raw flesh of the burning becomes a white bright spot, reddish or white, then the priest shall look on it, and behold, the hair in the bright spot has turned white, and it is in sight deeper than the skin. It is leprosy broken out of the burning. Therefore the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is the plague of leprosy. But if the priest looks on it, and behold, there is no white hair in the bright spot, and it is no lower than the other skin, but is somewhat dark, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days. And the priest shall look on him the 7th day. If it spreads farther in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is the plague of leprosy. And if the bright spot stays in its place, not spreading in the skin, but is somewhat faded, it is a rising of the burning, and the priest shall pronounce him clean, for it is a scar of the burning. If a man or woman has in them a plague on the head or the beard, then the priest shall see the plague, and behold, if it is in sight deeper than the skin, and a yellow thin hair is in it, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a dry scab, a leprosy on the head or beard. And if the priest looks on the plague of the scab, and behold, it is not in sight deeper than the skin, and no black hair is in it, then the priest shall shut up the plagued one with the scab 7 days. And in the 7th day the priest shall look on the scab, and behold, if the scab does not spread, and no yellow hair is in it, and the scab is not in sight deeper than the skin, he shall be shaven, but shall not shave the scab, and the priest shall shut up the one who has the scab 7 days more. And in the 7th day the priest shall look on the scab, and behold, if the scab has not spread in the skin, nor is in sight deeper than the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him clean. He shall wash his clothes and be clean. But if the scab spreads very much in the skin after his cleansing, then the priest shall look on him, and behold, if the scab is spread in the skin, the priest shall not look for shining yellow hair. He is unclean. But if in his eyes the scab is stabilized, and black hair is growing up in it, the scab is healed, he is clean, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. Also, if a man or a woman has bright spots in the skin of their flesh, white bright spots, then the priest shall look, and behold, if pale white bright spots are in the skin of their flesh, it is a pale spot springing up in the skin, he is clean. And when a man's head grows bald, he is clean. And if his head grows bald from the edge of his face, he is forehead bald, he is clean. And if there is in the bald head or bald forehead a reddish white sore, it is a leprosy sprung up in his bald head or bald forehead. And the priest shall look on it, and behold, if the rising of the sore is reddish white on his bald head, or on his bald forehead, as the leprosy appears on the skin of the flesh, he is a man with leprosy, he is unclean. The priest shall pronounce him utterly unclean, his plague is on his head. And as for the leper on whom the plague is, his clothes shall be torn, and his head shall be bare, and he shall put a covering on his upper lip, and shall cry, unclean, unclean. All the days in which the plague is in him, he shall be defiled. He is unclean. He shall live alone. His dwelling shall be outside the camp. And if there is any garment that has the plague of leprosy mold in it, in a woolen garment, or in a linen garment, or in the spun yarn, or in the woven piece of linen or of wool, or in the hide, or in anything of leather, and if the plague is greenish or reddish in the garment, or in an article of leather, either in the spun yarn or in the woven cloth, or in anything of leather, it is a plague of mold leprosy, and it shall be shown to the priest. And the priest shall look on the plague, and shut up that which has the plague 7 days. And he shall look on the mold plague on the 7th day. And if the plague is spread in the garment, either in the spun yarn or in the woven cloth, or in any leather or in any work that is made of leather, the plague is a fretting mold leprosy. It is unclean. And he shall burn that garment, whether spun yarn or woven cloth, in wool or in linen, or anything of leather in which the plague is, for it is an acute mold leprosy. It shall be burned in the fire. And if the priest shall look, and behold, the plague has not spread in the garment, either in the spun yarn or the woven cloth, or in any tanned leather, then the priest shall command that they wash the thing in which the plague is, and he shall shut it up 7 days more. And the priest shall look on the plague after it is washed, and behold,
If the plague has not changed its color, and the plague has not spread, it is contaminated, whether the spot is on the inside or outside. And if the priest looks, and behold, the plague is somewhat dark after the washing of it, then he shall tear it out of the garment, or out of the tanned leather, or out of the spun yarn, or out of the woven cloth. And if it appears still in the garment, or in the spun yarn, or in the woven cloth, or in anything of a tanned leather, it is a spreading plague. You shall burn it with fire, for the plague is in it. And the garment which you shall wash, either spun yarn or woven cloth, or whatever thing of a tanned leather it is, if the plague has departed from them, then it shall be washed a second time, and it shall be clean. This is the law of the plague of leprosy in a woolen garment or a linen garment, either in the spun yarn or woven cloth, or anything of a tanned leather, to pronounce it clean or to pronounce it unclean.